Give it to me like.
It's up here. Right, so hopefully that's not in the way. But yeah, anyway, EGTs with get that out of the way, K-type couplers. So didn't actually realise, I mean, as stupid as it sounds, that you can sort of manipulate these or shorten them. I thought for whatever reason there was sort of a sealed, sealed unit. Couldn't find anything on the Haltech website, but a bit of digging and found, yeah, some guys messing around with multimeter ones, I suppose, was probably the biggest thing. So they use a similar sort of coupler on multimeters, as you can see. Oops. So just basically 2 screws in here. So these are Haltech, like genuine ones. So they do mark positive and negative on the casing there. You've obviously got a big and a little pin. So yeah, just like that. Kick that silicon sleeve, because obviously that sort of goes under that crush washer. But and then that's basically just heat shrink. So anyway, you obviously just cut it to length, and then one sort of thing I did read about it was you trim this back. But what I've actually found is, because it's a like a braided sheath, you can just grab it for the length you need, and gently with the flush cuts just push it back like that. So hopefully you can still see that with the right angle. And then we carefully get a Stanley blade, cut the 2 apart so they're in like a resin like wrap tape type thing, I suppose you'd say. Like, it looks like it's a film, but anyway. So trick is obviously don't go cutting too far down, but you can just get enough so you can split it, you can pick them apart, and then they've got their own individual sort of sheath that you don't want to obviously destroy, because all it's measuring is continuity between the 2 basically, which gives you your heat or your resistance, which is what it's measuring in the day, like most temperature probes. But so anyway, so you basically just pick them apart without destroying that next bit of sheath. I said this all gets sort of heat shrinked again anyway, but yeah, that was actually probably a good point. So the silicon sleeve you took off, make sure you put back on. Chuck that on first, and then just standard heat. Well, that's dual wall heat shrink, like with the glue in it, but yeah, it doesn't have to be that style. And basically, once you got these sort of parted enough, before you go stripping the next bit off, you probably won't be able to see on there, but maybe the right light. So there's a red side. Now pay attention, because red is actually the earth, or the negative side, always apparently. So if you do notice when you pull them apart, you can actually pick up that, yeah, that red's in all of it. Whether it affects it massively if you do get one around the wrong way, being that it's just measuring resistance anyway, I don't know. But the small amount of literature that I did find on it, that's now, they're obviously a quite fine wire too, so like your standard wire strippers or whatever. Oh Jesus, aren't going to cut it. Well, aren't going to strip it, I should say. But yeah, so if you just carefully flush cuts without actually cutting through it. Yeah, just make sure that you bare maybe 3-4 mil. Make sure they're twisted back together, and then you sort of push them back together, I suppose, because if you have a look in here, there's like a wedge. I don't know if all of these have got them, but the Haltech ones definitely do, so it makes it quite nice. But all you got to do, obviously pay attention to which side that red one is. So it's the opposite on this one, and just basically had them screws just in there but loose. Push that in till it seats sort of in the V, and you've got your exposed section of wire in the clamps, and obviously you haven't bared too much that they're going to be touching. Make sure that's snug. Right, then heat shrink. So basically it just tidies up that shitty end. I've been dropping it just a fraction inside there. Stupid heat gun. I mean, these are all, I said, I don't know if all of them are as robust, sturdy, whatever you want to call it, as the Haltech stuff. I mean, I'd say any decent brand would be, whether, get some cheaper stuff, maybe they aren't as good, I'm not sure. But anyway, so that's shrunk. And then just wait half a second for that to actually set. And don't worry, I waited till the last one to do this, so I had my had this down pat. But yeah, basically first to last. Like, obviously you've just gotten faster, not really any better. But like I said, once you work out what you want to do, you can yeah, sort it out pretty easily. You can give yourself a little bit of extra, or have a play with one of the old ends to like cut it with a bit of green on it, so you can have a practice run, basically just tweaking that a little bit to get that seal in there again. Cover back on. Like that, and the clamp plate for the backside. So, anyway, you just sort of pull that up until it's like, I think they're bottomed out. They're also don't probably have to be that tight. And then these, because of where I've mounted it, I've just sort of putting a little bit of a, not a kink, but just a bit of a pre-bend in the thing. Obviously the big and the little terminal's got a side that it sits into, but that's all 8, and usually I just put a zippy tie around them. I can choke it around there, but I mean that was more when it was in the engine bay too. So yeah. Anyway, I'll just, a smaller gauge zip tie. Tidy that up, and then yeah, like I said, the majority of this is just about done. But yeah, cut power wires to sort of feed, and then we're getting there. Anyway, have a good one.